Welcome back, everybody. We're going to do a quick test feed here. We're coming to you live from RoofCon 2024. I think I said 2025 the other day when I went live. Technically, this is probably the 2025th convention season, for roofing. This is like the kickoff to the season. So the 2025 season, I guess, kickoff for roofing conference season here. But welcome back, everybody. We're going to do a little test drive here to make sure that the sound and audio and all that stuff, we look good. We just now got Wi-Fi to our booth. We had a little power glitch here and there, but things are good. The team killed it. About 4.5 hours, I think, the booth was set up from like 1 to 5:30. It was 90% of it.
Yeah, it was pretty quick.
Yeah, it was
better than when the storm took longer.
Yeah, like about 12, like 2 days.
Yeah, like 2 days for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. But this went. The team has really matured and really has their shit together. Vic, big shout out to Vic, handling and driving this ship and getting things set up. And the myth, he's still working on some technical stuff back here. The lines aren't quite lining up back here, but that's why we wanted to get on here quick and make sure that everybody can hear us and that we sound good. But also, I didn't want to forget to mention that at 12 o'clock, we're still doing our 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time behind the ToolBelt, our regularly scheduled Wednesday afternoon
programming.
Programming. Yeah, we'll have Eric O is coming over. He's going to be our first guest, I guess, technically. Well, you're technically our first guest. Yeah, this week. But Eric O and Pete McKendrick with Roofer.
Awesome.
Yeah,
that'll be a good one.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. So, Mike, I guess let's talk a little bit about what do you expect to get out of RoofCon this year?
I've walked around already and looked at some of the breakouts that are happening. There's some good speakers with some good information, knowledge base for sales reps. I think there's some tricks of the trade. The industry's changed in the past 10 years since I've started in it with on the selling aspect of it. And some of these guys have got it dialed in, man, and they've done a really good job. I just walked over and listened to John Scenic for a minute, and that dude has just got a ton of information.
Yeah.
I have some of my reps over there listening. Yeah, man, just to get new intakes on how the industry's changing.
It is.
It's cool to see some of these guys out here with some of their technology and things of that nature, but just the guys that are still on the roofs, doing inspections and doing that kind of stuff, just the information they're gathering and how the game's changing, really.
It really is. And that's a great point too, because things are evolving and changing. Insurance laws, buyers' behaviors, how people are responding, social media marketing, Google's changing constantly, and those people that know about these things are here.
Yeah,
that's what's so cool. The quality of people, the education that you're going to receive, especially in the breakouts here, being on the expo floor, I think is really cool. You don't have to leave the expo floor. They broke out the scheduling, so like I don't have the schedule in front of me, but like everything's broken out. Like, so at 9 o'clock today, like anything that would pertain to like insurance claims, all those breakouts will be at 9 o'clock. All digital marketing ads and things like that will be at 10 o'clock. So it's not like you're picking and choosing like, shit, I'm going to miss out on marketing stuff. At the same time, John Scenic's talking about how to do an inspection.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you can go see John, you can go see Tim Brown, you can go see Joseph Hughes, Eric O. I mean, that's the quality of people that we're talking about. It's been in the industry for a minute, not like 2 years, which that isn't a bad thing either. But what I'm saying is they've been around long enough and have been a part of that evolution. They're changing with the times, they're keeping up with the codes, they're keeping up with, digital ads on where you should spend your dollars on ads and all that type of stuff. And I think that's what I really like about this, because we here doing what we do, we get to rub elbows with these guys on a daily, regularly basis, where a lot of people can't do that. And just because of the podcast, we gave them a platform too to come on here and share their experience, strength, and hope, and not just at RoofCon. But I think we've not us. Well, I've become spoiled a little bit because of having access to these people. Where a lot of people can't. A lot of people don't have Tim Brown's cell phone number. Not that he wouldn't give it to anybody that came in here, but I've been friends with Tim for a while, and Vic and John are working with him on like a coaching aspect. He's mentoring them on aspects of website, Google SEO. He's working with Vic on, content creation and things like that. So, we have access to them. Well, coming to RoofCon now, everybody has access to Tim Brown.
Yeah.
And Joseph Hughes and stuff. And I like how you mentioned too, like you intentionally told sales reps, hey, go see John. You got to listen to John. I said the same thing about Deshaun Bryant. He's a keynote speaker at 2 p.m. today. Like that is definitely one you're not going to want to miss. If you're in door-to-door sales or canvassing or sales period, like you want to go see and listen to Deshaun Bryant. I mean, he's an OG.
And he's been in the game a minute.
Yeah.
Kind of like, like you said, not guys that have only been in the industry for a year or even two. Like there's nothing bad with those guys. But Deshaun's been here. He's seen the changes in the insurance industry. He's worked in Florida. I remember when he came out and did a bunch of stuff with Lee Haight years ago.
Yes.
So it's cool to see the OG guys because, like you said, the industry's changed, and it's going to continue to keep evolving in how they are changing to get, help customers with claims and so on and so forth. So, he's definitely got a plethora of information. And again, when it comes to the door knocking thing, like that's the guy, man. Like those to learn anything that you can on how to present yourself at the door. I mean, he's been doing it for a long time. It's proven. Some guys have that, some guys don't. But I mean, he's got a ton of information.
Yeah, he's got the gift. He's got the gift, and he's such a great teacher too. He's going back a couple years. I believe he was one of the first guests on Behind the ToolBelt.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Deshaun Bryant going back probably 4.5, almost 5 years ago. Deshaun, and so was David Taggart, which ironically enough, both are door knocking OGs.
Okay.
In their own rights. David Taggart, his handle, I guess, is the Roof Poppy.
I've heard the name around. I'm just not as familiar with him personally.
Yeah, well, he doesn't have like a program or something like that. Like he's a roofing owner.
Yeah.
That is just on social media a lot and basically just spews every bit of information that he knows or has learned. Like he just has no problem getting out there and giving free content to people, and that's why I admire him so much. And he has no problem calling people out on their bullshit either. Yeah, you would really like him, actually. Yeah, you would really like him. Yeah.
I've seen him around. I just haven't. I don't know if I've ever met him at any of these, but like I said, I've definitely seen him in the industry.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if he'll be here or not. I don't think he's a speaker, but he probably should be because he is a fountain of knowledge too, man. Like he's just another one of those OGs that has evolved with the times. And thank goodness for that. So we can follow those guys because they are the trailblazers, the John Cena's, the Joseph Hughes, the Tim Browns, Deshaun Bryant's. Like these guys are the trailblazers that are evolving with the industry. And that's the thing too. Like if you're not evolving and keeping up with what's happening today, we're going to be left behind. Like whether it's technology based things, marketing tactics, door knocking techniques, things like that, insurance policies, knowing the difference between ACV, RCVs, and not even just that, but like what qualifies for a claim? Like just getting up on a roof and like, will this, become a claim?
Yeah. And I mean, that's important. I mean, it's like, in the industry, there's so many companies out there that's running claims as whatever. They don't run adjuster meetings. They're like, hey, if it gets approved, call me type of deal. With this discontinued change, a customer what is deserved instead of just, half-ass repair, if you will.
Yes.
Things of that nature. And that's where that knowledge comes in.
Yes.
To knowing that. And it's crazy you mentioned free knowledge. Like David gets free knowledge, and it's crazy. There's so much of it out there.
Yes.
And a lot of guys just don't have to do the hard work and figuring it out.
Right.
But it's all right there, and it makes things so much so much easier.
Oh my gosh, yes. And it really does. You just got to pay attention and remain teachable. I think for me over the years, that's been something I've tried to humble myself enough to remain teachable, because it would be so easy for me to say like, yeah, I've been doing this for 30 years. But what happened 30 years ago is the landscape of the industry, business, media, I talk about this story quite often. When we started marketing, we had Yellow Book and referrals. I mean, that's it. Right? Referrals is still a huge part of our component too, but you need that marketing aspect of things to create that network and that referral base. So you continuously need to market yourself so you can get in front of new people that you can create relationships with, so then they can become referrals or repeat customers.
That's it. I mean, that's where, I wasn't a door knocker, not much of a canvasser.
Mm-hmm.
You give me a couple leads, and
Mm-hmm.
I'll tenfold all of them. Because I dealt with the customer, and that's how I was able to become successful with
Mm-hmm.
it. And then you got your guys like Deshaun that go out and knock doors, and that's how they become. But like you said, I mean, building the referral base
Yes.
For anything that we do. We just were having the conversation yesterday, and I forget who it was with, about the AI taking over the sales thing, and I was like, man, there's a spot for it, but face-to-face interaction and people wanting to know who they're spending their money with and being able to have a conversation with them is huge. And that's why I just found most of the sales is kind of simple.
Yeah.
Just have the conversation, do the research and get the knowledge that that you need, for your industry, and just take care of the customer.
Yeah, like a real empathetic conversation with the homeowner. And what I mean by empathetic is like, be empathetic to their needs, right? Like what's going on with the house, and put yourself in their shoes and give them value and create that relationship. Like what can I do to better this person's life today?
For sure.
Right? Like I want to be that shining star, that bright spot in their life, and not make them feel like they just got beat over the head, but we're providing value. And that's kind of what my breakout's going to be about. Exactly what we're talking about right now, because that old school, like that's the basics, right?
Yeah.
And when you were talking, I was just thinking that if you've been in the door knocking industry for 3 years consistently and have become really good at it, you should have to knock less doors.
For sure.
Because of the pipeline of people and the referrals and repeat customers. I'm not saying there isn't days or weeks that things might dry up a little bit and you need to go out and prospect some more. But what I'm saying is Dan Warrack, the $18.5 million guy, right? He's a door knocker, but he didn't do those sales in 1 year by door knocking.
Right.
Those were referrals.
I don't know if you can knock that many.
Right. And don't get it wrong. And I think he wants everybody to know, like he didn't actually, like his wife, and he had a team behind him helping build estimates, but he was running appointments. He was doing the inspections and all that stuff like that. But that was through referrals.
Yeah.
And I don't know if a lot of people know that or not, but that's my point. That's how important that is, because he's done such a good job in building such a good rapport, right? He suited up, he showed up, he did the job right. He added value. He improved the quality of life of those individuals. And when something happened, a big storm must have came through, guess who they were calling?
That's it.
They were calling Dan.
Yep.
And now he's notorious or famous, I guess, world renowned as the $19 million guy.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That is insane. That's impressive. But it's like you were saying, I mean, going along, when I first started into selling, I remember my first neighborhood I got into in Westchester, Pennsylvania. We ran that Reading storm. I worked actually the backside of it. And I remember I was in a development with all Horizon shingles before I knew what the hell Horizon shingles were, discontinued. I knew about that much. And we had the first customer that I had in there was one lead that I had been given from the company. And I worked that lead, and that lady literally would take my hand and go to the neighbors, and then go to this neighbors. And within like 2 or 3 days, as I was driving through the neighborhood, people were coming out of their house. Hey, can you inspect mine? Can you inspect mine? And like off of one lead. Yeah. Off of one lead. And Facebook wasn't what it was then.
No.
And all the marketing stuff that they do now. And it was literally, you were out on the street and they were sending flyers.
Yeah.
That's how we got the leads. But that's how important it is to be able to, especially if you're just starting in this, being able to kick your career off. And then I always use the snowball analogy. You keep building that snowball.
Yeah.
And like you said, in times where you look at your pipeline and you're like, oh, well, this is a little light. Let's go out and canvas or knock some doors or whatever to get those couple leads in. Then we work the leads off of that.
Yeah.
And people start to trust you. I still get to today phone calls and leads from Pennsylvania. I haven't lived there in almost 5 years.
Wow. I believe that.
Like still from the pipeline you've built. That's where it's important. And I tell all the guys that I train, it's like, build the pipeline. It takes a minute to build it, but once you build it and you don't ever stop building it, your phone just rings.
It does.
It just rings organically.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. And we're not saying that marketing and Facebook campaigns and stuff like that aren't important. They're just as important, but building those relationships early on in your career. Still today, 50% of our leads that come into TC Backer in Pennsylvania are referrals or repeat customers that I put their roofs on, or somebody that knows Ty. And that we have, I think we have a category in our CRM,
pretty sure,
that says friend of Ty or knows Ty or something. And I'll be honest with you, half these people I don't really know personally. It's because the person that we actually did work for knows us that well and trusted us, respected us, right, enough to refer us. And that's the thing about referrals too. Like at that point in time, you're pretty much already sold. Right now, it's our job to go in there and provide them that value, give them that comfort, that feeling of like, yes, we're here, that empathetic, putting yourself in their shoes and identifying the issue, like what happened, why do you need a new roof? Like, I'm not just here to sell you a roof, but let's figure out why you needed one. Was it storm damage? Was it due to poor ventilation? Is it due to poor insulation or installation? Yeah. Right? Like, was it just fucked up from the beginning? Like, like whatever the case is, but we're here to correct that first. Then let's put a roof on your house. Yeah. Like, and a lot of people don't walk through it. It's like, I call it a cash grab. Like, you're just kind of there. Let's knock the door, get up, do an inspection. Yep. And out the door. And that's the thing. Like, one of my questions I want to ask some of our guests is like, when is the sale over? Like, if you were selling right now and you were a guest on my show and I asked you the question, when is the sale over?
I mean, the sale's over when the job's complete and the customer's happy. If that's part of the sales. I mean, you can say it, like you said, a lot of front side sales guys, contract signed, they don't think another thing about it. The problem is we're leaving money on the table as an aspect of taking care of the customer to get those referrals. And as an owner, marketing dollars aren't cheap. Yeah. Let's get what we can off of every lead that we can, build our name out there. Yes. So we can pass that savings on to the customer as well. I mean, the more we spend in marketing, the more everything, that's just business, how it goes. But as for sales reps, I mean, just walking through, whether you got a production team or not, as a sales rep, you have a different relationship with the customer. If I'm giving you my money, you're selling me on what we're doing. Yes. When I have a problem, I'm calling you. Yeah. I don't care who Vic is outside running the job. I don't care. Like, those guys, you're the guy that said that. And if you follow that through that process, even more, and just take care of the customer, answer the phone when, make sure you're on the job, make sure everything looks okay. Exactly. And that's major. And that's what I feel like most of it's most missing on the backside of it today. Yeah. Well, and I love your response, because in a nutshell, the sale is never over. Yeah. The sale is never over. If you're building a client base and relationship with people, the sale is really never over. Even after the job is finished, because that's what you said at first, but then you corrected yourself and basically said, like, the sale is never over. Yeah. Yeah. Even if that's following up in 3 months after the job is built, like, hey, how are things going? Yeah. Or sending out Christmas cards, like just staying in touch. Hell, it could be once a year. I got a client that we've done work for, and this is how these relationships happen, right? There was a guy that was getting into buying houses, selling them and flipping them. They owned a car dealership, Deal Toyota in York, PA, and who knew what it was going to become? Yeah. Like, seriously, who knew what this was going to become? Today they do over 300 acquisitions a year. Okay. Right. So, and we do a majority of something on every single one of those houses, whether it's from an inspection to full-blown roof siding, windows, gutters, the whole nine. But I stay in touch with him. Now, we've had a business and a personal relationship for over 15 years, but that doesn't mean I ever become complacent in that relationship. And it's also reciprocal. Right. Anybody I know that needs a house, I refer. My daughter went to work for him. Mackenzie's now into real estate. Oh, okay, right. That's right. Yep. So that's who she went to work for. Keller Williams, Eric Brewer, Liz Hamburger. Big shout out to you guys. Okay, awesome. If you're paying attention to this, but I on his birthday, I wish him a happy birthday. Christmas, I drop off he's a bourbon guy. Yeah. I don't even drink, but I know he likes bourbon. Right. I don't know if it's the brand that he likes, but I sent him a $100 bottle of bourbon. Get some bourbon. Yeah. Liz Hamburger, who's a realtor for him. She throws this referral, and the referrals, their network has become our clients. That sphere of influence, because Eric uses us, a lot of people are going to use us. Yeah. Because Liz uses us, a lot of people are going to use us. And you want to talk about organic and not
very little overhead, no marketing expense. We're already sold. We just got to show up, give them an estimate, provide value, right? And a part of value, and I think a lot of people don't understand this, is our time. Devoting time and holding their hand through the entire process. That's value. That's a part of the value.
100%.
You know, is giving our time, and that could be hours, could be days, could be accommodating their work schedule around their babysitter schedule, around the school. I mean, that's a part of it.
It's huge. I remember, I don't remember the news station. It was somewhere outside of York. I don't remember exactly where it was. There was a guy who worked for the news station. Storm rolled through. We were doing some stuff. We couldn't sign the contract till 10 o'clock at night because that's when he worked. I was like, I'll be there.
Yeah.
It's like, you come to my house at 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, is that the only way you're going to sign the contract? I gotta work around your time.
Yep.
It's so important, and people are so appreciative. I mean, people call in my neighborhood. We had a storm roll through, and people are like, I know you're busy. It's cool. When I schedule the appointment, I'm there for you. I don't care what else is going on.
Yeah.
I'm taking care of what you got going on right now.
Yes.
And going to make sure that we're doing.
Be where your feet are.
That's it.
Yes. I said that so many times. Vic,
it's huge.
How are we sounding? We're on a good roll here.
Justin, my mic. Appreciate that.
You're good.
Thanks.
Yeah, we're on a good roll here. It appears that things are good. I don't want to waste all our good nuggets because you might have to be my filler in.
I'm good. I'm here.
In between the podcasts here, so let's not ruin all the good nuggets yet. I feel like I'm on a good roll. I needed this. This was the icebreaker, so thank you for
anytime, man. Appreciate
being the icebreaker here. And but let's get back on here and drop some golden nuggets today, tomorrow, and Friday.
Yeah.
For people, because that's what this is about. This is us wanting to give free education, right? A platform where we got probably a combined 60 years of experience with just two of us standing here right now. And Mike, I know you're a fountain of knowledge, man, and I've learned things from you on a weekly basis, man. And I appreciate everything you do for us, for the communities, for your homeowners, our team. The team that you're building down there is amazing. And I want to give you the what do they call it? I want to give you public notoriety or public ignition, or what is it? Recognition. Public recognition right now. Some people like it, some people don't like it, but I'm going to throw you out there, and Vic too. He's bebopping back there, and I know I say something usually once every time we go live about him, but without him pulling all these wires or telling somebody where or how to pull the wires or whatever the hell shit that he's got to go through. You know, he's only 39 years old, and he's kicking ass and taking names. So anyhow, that's it. Javi, we're going to sign off.
Awesome.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you in a little bit.